Hello everyone and welcome to another Replica Airguns video. My name is Michael K. You may have noticed I've been away for a little while. I haven't made a video in a bit over a week now, and the reason for that is because I was away on holidays. Well, I'm back and it's time to make some more videos. So we're starting this off with the Crosman 1377 American Classic. Now this particular product is available in the Replica Airgun store. I'm selling it as a refurbished model, and the one I have here is refurbished, and I'm selling it for $59. Again at the Replica Airgun store. So let's get to some of the specifications really quickly. This is a mostly metal gun with some plastic parts. It's a pneumatic multi-pump. So what I mean by that is you pump it anywhere from about 3 to 10 times, and each time you pump it, it increases the power just a little bit more. This airgun uses .177 caliber lead pellets. It uses a bolt action and is single shot. This gun has a rifled barrel, and it shoots up to a claimed 495 feet per second. As you notice, this is not a replica, so to speak, but it is a really good target pistol, and that's why I'm reviewing it today. The Crosman 1377 is also made in the USA, and a little bit of a fact about this gun is it was first introduced in 1977 and it's still made today. Now anytime a gun's been around for that long, you can tell it's a pretty good product. Now it does come in this box here. Show you quickly. Some basic specifications on the outside. It says on the gun or on the box, it usually says remanufactured here. Now one thing I want to mention about the Crosman 1377 and also many other Crosman products that have this design is they're highly modifiable. And I'm going to show you a comparison to a couple other products that are very similar, and some of which have actually been modified that I own. Now you can modify this gun with some existing Crosman parts, but there's a whole cottage industry for this gun and for this style of gun. You can change barrels, you can change the bolt section, there are aftermarket stocks and triggers, internal modifications to increase the feet per second. It goes on and on. Alright, so we're going to take a quick look at the right side of this gun. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, it's a fairly basic design. But you can see here you have the metal frame and barrel. Now the checkered wood grain parts on here are plastic, they're not wood. Now you can also see, here's the other side of the safety. I wouldn't say it's ambidextrous because you push it from one side to the other. Now when it's pushed all the way down on this side, it's in fire mode. So because it's flush here, it's actually in fire mode. If it was sticking out on the right side, it would be in safe. Now you can see here we have the bolt action. Now when you cock the bolt back, you can fire it. Of course you need to pump it as well. Now you also have a metal trigger on this product. So let's take a look at the left side now. Again, you have the metal barrel and frame and plastic grips. Again, the metal trigger, and here's your safety on the other side. So if you want to put it in safe mode, you just push it through so it's flush on the left side. That puts the gun in safe mode. You have your bolt area here, but as you can see, you can't activate the bolt in any way. Now on the top of this gun, you can see here we have our sights. We have our front sight here, and it's a fixed blade sight. It's actually plastic. This sight is plastic. On the back, we have our rear sight, which is adjustable, and it's adjustable for windage and elevation. And if you can see here as well, you can reverse it and use it as a peep sight. I don't know if you can see it too well, but it's actually reversible. You can flip it around and use it as a peep sight. Again, you have your bolt area up here where you can load it. So when you're loading, you cock it back, you place your pellet in here, move it forward, close the bolt, and you're ready to shoot once you're off safety. Now to pump this gun, I'll really quickly just show you because it's not really hard. You just literally pump it all the way forward, all the way back. You'll have to cock the bolt, and then you can shoot it. I wanted to quickly compare the Crosman 1377 to another product by Crosman, which is this 2240. Now the 2240 is a CO2 powered 22 caliber version of the similar gun. You'll see there's a lot of similarities here in the trigger. Now even though this has aftermarket grips, you can see that it's got the same grip design. There's no pump on this gun because it's CO2 powered. This particular one has the upgraded bolt, and this is an upgraded bolt. The whole design, this whole bolt comes off and you can replace it. The 2240 also has the longer barrel added to it. And you can see here we have a scope mounted to this particular bolt because this bolt has rail mounts for a scope, which makes it a little bit easier to mount a scope onto it. Now you can add a scope onto the 1377, you just have to buy these little extra rail mounts for it, and these attach to the barrel. And I'll show you how they attach to a barrel because I have a Crosman backpacker that uses the same mounts. So you can kind of get an idea that there's a lot of different things in aftermarket parts that you can do with these guns. Now here we have my Crosman backpacker, and this is another 22 caliber version of the same gun. It uses the same frame essentially. Now you'll notice that I have these adapter mounts so that I can mount a scope on here, and they would be the same ones as these ones, and they just attach right onto the barrel. Another thing that you'll find that's different about the backpacker version, not just that it's 22 caliber, but it also has this stock that you can put on the gun, and it goes on the back here. Now this stock, by the way, if you take the grips off of the 1377, will fit on the 1377. So you could make the 1377 into a rifle very easily. Alright, so now we're going to head outside and we're going to do the chronograph and shooting portion of this test. Now I'm not going to shoot 8 rounds through the chronograph because this is a multi-pump gun. It's going to take a long time. So instead, I'm going to shoot this gun through the chronograph, but each time I shoot it, I'm going to pump the gun a few more times to see how the extra pumps affect the velocity. I'm also going to be shooting this gun from 30 feet out because it's such a good shooter. I'm going to be shooting it from a rested position, and I'm going to put 5 rounds into the target. Okay, so we're here with the Crosman 1377 .177 caliber multi-pump pistol. And I'm going to do this test a little bit different than normal. I'm not going to shoot 8 rounds through here because I have to pump this up each time. So instead, I'm going to start with 5 pumps. Then I'm going to shoot 10 pumps. And even though it's not recommended to shoot more than 10 pumps, or to pump it up more than 10 times, I'm going to pump it up to 15 times to see if there's any benefit. Now this is a Canadianized version of this gun. So it has a release valve in it that lets out a bit of pressure. So in the US, this gun is claimed to shoot up to 600 feet per second. Here in Canada, it has a factory claim of up to 500. Now I'm using super hollow point 6.7 grain RWS pellets for this test. So let's start off with 5 pumps. Open the bolt, load around. Shot number 1. 344.3 feet per second. We're going to pump it up 10 times now. Load her up. Shot number 2, 10 pumps. 428.2, 15 pumps. That's a workout. And here we go. 15 pumps. So we do get a little bit of an increase when we pump it up. Now I did try pumping it up a crazy 20 pumps. Again, not recommended. But because of the release valve that's inside of this gun, it really didn't shoot much faster. It maybe got a little closer to 470, but definitely not worth the risk of pumping it or the extra effort involved to pump it up that extra bit. Now with lighter pellets, we may get closer to the 500 feet per second, but that's not too bad. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the accuracy portion of this test, and I'm going to shoot the Crosman 1077 from 30 feet away in a rested position this time. Alright, so we're about to do the shooting portion of the test with the Crosman 1377 pneumatic pump pistol, and I'm going to be shooting 5 rounds into this target from 30 feet away in a semi-rested position. Now I'm only going to be pumping this gun 5 times each time because it's not about speed, it's about accuracy. So let's get started. I'm taking my time a little bit here doing this. This is not a rushed shooting session here. Here we go. Shot number 2. Shot number 3. Shot number 4. And shot number 5. Here we go. I'm hoping to get a really tight grouping here. I did this before and I got about a 1/2 inch group from here. So let's see what we do. Alright, last shot. Make it count. Alright, I'm hoping for a good result here because this gun actually is really accurate. Oh, there you go. Pretty much exactly like last time. Here's a 1/4, just to give you an idea. That's about, I'm not sure what happened here, if it hit low or if it just ripped the page there. But if it ripped the page, then you're looking at about a 1/2 inch group again. If it hit low, then it's about a 3/4 inch group. Not bad at all. And like I said, I did a 5-shot grouping earlier, and I easily got within a 1/2 inch. Now I shot this gun from 30 feet away in a semi-rested position. What I mean by that is I had the pistol resting on a sandbag at the front, but I was standing in the back. I wasn't sitting, so there's a little bit of play there. Anyways, let's head inside and finish off this review now. Alright, so this gun did as expected in the chronograph portion of this test. Using the variable pumps, I was able to get up to about 460 feet per second using my 6.9 grain pellets. Now with lighter pellets, you will be able to get higher feet per second levels. Now it did seem that once I hit about 460 feet per second, it didn't really matter how many pumps I pumped it. The Canadianized version with its release valve adjusted a bit lower was pretty much letting out any air that I pumped into it after that. Now that said, I don't recommend over pumping this gun in any way, so it's up to you what you feel is an acceptable level, but Crosman claims that it's a 10 pump gun. Now in the shooting portion of this test, this gun really performed absolutely amazing. Now I was able to get about a 1/2 inch group from 30 feet out both times that I shot this gun. Now I only recorded the second session where I shot 5 rounds, but in the first session I actually got a more noticeable 1/2 inch grouping. It was well within a 1/2 inch. So this gun is really an amazing shooter. Okay, so we're going to talk about the pros and the cons of the Crosman 1377 American Classic. Now this gun's been around a long time. It's tried and trued, and it's very inexpensive at $59. This gun has absolutely amazing accuracy. It kind of stunned me actually. I was not expecting that kind of accuracy from a gun this inexpensive and really this basic in design. I like the fact that you can regulate the amount of pumps and how much power you want to produce from this gun. It's also nice that it's a mostly metal constructed gun. The 1377 has a rifled barrel, of course, and it also has the adjustable sights, which are adjustable for windage and elevation. Because it's single action only, it has a very nice and light trigger with literally no creep at all. Now I feel the Crosman 1377 would actually be good for small pest control because it has decent feet per second, but more importantly it's so accurate that once you've had a little bit of practice and you can shoot this gun comfortably and accurately, your shot placement will play a big role in how well you can put down small pests. Now another great feature about this gun is the fact that it's highly upgradable and modifiable. You can literally do just about anything to this product. Now there's always a couple cons, and with this gun I couldn't really find too many. I found that the trigger design is kind of simple and it's a little bit thin, but there again, there are aftermarket triggers available for the Crosman 1377. Now even though the rear sight is adjustable for windage and elevation, it's kind of a primitive design. You basically have a couple screws that you loosen and then you move the sight slightly. So it makes sighting it in a little bit difficult because if you move it just a little too far, then you got to start all over again. Alright, so that wraps up this review of the Crosman 1377 American Classic pneumatic multi-pump bolt action .177 caliber pistol. Again, I'd like to mention that this is available in the Replica Airgun store. We also have a lot of other fine products in the Replica Airgun store, including many other airguns, blank guns, and accessories. Be sure to check out the Replica Airguns website. We have a lot of other articles and reviews, and sometimes there's some more information that I may have left out in the video. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I want to also point out that I'm on Facebook and Twitter, so make sure to check out my Twitter and Facebook pages. You can find links on my website. It's pretty easy to find in Facebook and Twitter. Just look for the username Replica Airguns. Again, thanks for watching another Replica Airguns video. Until next time, take care and see you later.